College will continue to contribute to the highest purposes of human achievement.
Thank you. Thank you, Ginger. She is known as Ginger, by the way. You may now be seated. Thank you. I now invite Natalia Hernandez Barrios, class of 2023, and Jerry Goodman, class of 22, and Masters of Arts in Coaching and Sports Leadership, class of 2024, to deliver our land acknowledgment.
We acknowledge that the land Randolph College occupies was inhabited by YESA, the people. But due to warfare, disease, forced migration, assimilation, and broken treaties, the people were reduced in number and were forced to a fraction of the land they once occupied.
Today, descendants of the original people of the land, the Monicans, understand that the land is the people and the people are the land. And we are not strangers on any of the land that was considered our territory. They are not relics of the past. They live among us, and we honor them. Thank you.
Thank you. Today, we participate in a tradition that dates back to the 17th century. The act of formally installing a president is a symbolic moment where a board of trustees formally bestows authority upon a president and provides him or her with the symbols of the office. It is an opportunity for the new president to put forward a vision for an institution and to inspire the community to galvanize behind this vision. Today's ceremony is a significant moment in the college's history. We unite in common purpose to remember and treasure the past and to envision the possibilities for the future as a new president begins her tenure. We are honored to have many special guests with us. This weekend, we celebrate the tradition of higher education, and our connection to the higher education community is reflected through the presence of presidents, alumni, and other representatives of sister institutions across the world. We thank all delegates for their presence today. We welcome our local community. Randolph has been a good citizen in Lynchburg for more than 130 years, and we are delighted that so many of our community leaders have joined us today. I'd like to extend a special welcome to our local educational leaders, President Allison Morrison Shedler of the University of Lynchburg, and Teresa Garrett, the Vice President of Academic Affairs at Sweetbriar College. Thank you both for being here. Randolph College exists for the education of students, and students have been represented throughout the inaugural festivities. In fact, this weekend already, they have showcased student activity. We thank our student performers and presidential ambassadors for their contribution to this weekend, and we welcome the student body in attendance today. One's time at Randolph is only for a few years, but your relationship with the college is for a lifetime, and we are delighted to have so many alumni of Randolph-Macon Women's College and alumni of Randolph College here with us in person today, and also streaming these ceremonies online. You are our past, our future, and for your presence and support, we thank you. The President's leadership team and staff at Randolph College do a masterful job of supporting our students and our faculty. They are the backbone of the college, and we show our gratitude to them today and welcome them. If the staff are the backbone, the faculty are the heart of the college. The faculty impart wisdom and shape the lives of our students. We are appreciative of their devotion and honored by their attendance here today. Randolph College is fortunate to have a dedicated group of intelligent, passionate, and generous trustees who guide the institution. They have been hard at work, and we are delighted that they are here to celebrate this special day with President Ott Rowlands. We should also acknowledge the women and men who have served in this role previously. Thank you to the many former members of the Board of Trustees and emeriti trustees who are with us for this occasion. Your contributions have provided the foundation of strength upon which the college stands. For those efforts, and by honoring us with your presence today, we give thanks. In particular, I would like to thank the former chairs of the Board of Trustees in attendance, Kathy Haverner Greer, class of 1973, Sally Ann Dean, class of 1970, Becky Morrison Dunn, class of 1970, and Virginia Hill Warden, class of 1969. Thank you to each of you for your service to this college. We are honored to have the former interim president, as you've seen, President Virginia Hill Warden, and her husband, Jeff. Also, our 9th president, John E. Klein, and his wife, Susan, are with us today. We thank you all for your terms of service to Randolph and for returning for this weekend's festivities. As I introduce the members of the presidential party, I would ask them to stand. You've already met former interim president Warden, who delivered the invocation, and former President Klein. Please stand, guys. You have also met Natalia Hernandez Barrios and Jerry Goodman during the land acknowledgement. Then Dr. Karen E. Campbell, class of 1977. Vice Chair of our Board of Trustees and co-chair of the Presidential Search Committee. Dr. Judith Darr, Dean of the Chase College of Law at Northern Kentucky University. Mayor Stephanie Reed, an at-large member of Lynchburg City Council and mayor of our city. Katie A. Page, class of 2008, president, sorry, go ahead. She is president of our Alumni and Alumni Association and a member of our Board of Trustees. Zainab Elkhanzer, class of 2023, and president of our student government. Megan Fallon, chair of the college's Staff Advisory Committee and director, and she's also director of the Career Development Center. Yeah. Dr. Sarah Sorka, chair of the college's Faculty Representative Committee and associate professor of environmental studies and physics. And I was looking forward to this, but unfortunately, Nikki Giovanni so far has been unable to be with us today. So we wish her well, and we miss her. Dr. Katrina Powell, professor and director of the Center of Refugee, Migrant, and Displacement Studies at Virginia Tech. Now please join me in recognizing the members of the presidential party. I am pleased to introduce to you the members of President Ott Rowlands' family and ask that they stand as I introduce them to you. Her uncle, Dr. Richard Bernard, her sisters, Dr. Ann Galloway and Kim Malott, daughter Carly Rowlands, son-in-law Tom Fitzgerald, and their family. Daughter Abby Rowlands, son-in-law Tom Fitzgerald, and their family. And I think I just said that. You want to stand again? I'm sorry. Thank you. Dr. Abby Rowlands and son-in-law Ben LeBeau. And in-laws Jim and Linda LeBeau. College presidency requires great commitment and sacrifice from the president's family, and for this we thank you. President Ott Rowlands has numerous friends here to celebrate with her today, and we welcome each of you to share in this important moment in her presidency. In fact, to every person in attendance, we are honored by your presence, and we appreciate your support. To celebrate this occasion, Randolph College Chorale will present a presentation, or a selection rather, that enchanted President Ott Rowlands during their last concert, Gamaya, under the direction of Professor Kyle Greeney.
Gamaya, 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 Asatomasa, 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 Gamaya, Gamaya, Jyoti, Gamaya, Jyoti,
Thank you, Corral. That was beautiful. I was hoping it would be longer, actually. It's put me in a good mood. Thank you. On occasions such as these, it is customary for the new president to receive greetings from various constituencies. Today, we will begin with remarks from Dr. Dar, representing institutions of higher education, and we'll conclude with Dr. Sotka, representing our own faculty. Dr. Dar.
President Ott Rowlands, distinguished members of the Platform Party, honored guests, and members of the Randolph community today. It is truly a privilege to be here with you today in celebration of President Sue Ott Rowlands' inauguration as the new leader of this storied institution of higher education. Today, you formally welcome a president whose impressive career path and exemplary personal values embody the mission of higher education and the vision of this institution. Now, as to mission, it can be argued, and as a professional arguer, I will do so, that the purpose of higher education is to provide pathways to career satisfaction, to provoke intellectual enlightenment, and to forge deep and long-lasting friendships. Your new president is exquisitely well-positioned and eager to guide the college toward fulfillment of this mission. Those of us who have had the truly distinct privilege of serving with Sue have witnessed her agile, creative, and practical efforts toward fulfilling these essential academic trilogies with its focus on working, thinking, and bonding. Sue's passion for student success has been paved with new programming initiatives consistent with a changing educational and career environment, and all along, she has sought the partnership of administrators and faculty to enhance her pathway and ours. Your new president forges career opportunities and provokes deep thinking and is committed to long-lasting friendships. This is undeniable. And I stand here today, the grateful product of Sue's magic in each of these areas. And I represent many others, too numerous to count. Now, as to the vision of the college and the vision that it holds in its mind's eye, I have referred to your website to have enlightenment and education on this matter. And you say that your vision is that students will be challenged to develop their intellectual and creative talents, to pursue educational opportunities in and out of the college community, to embrace honorable living, all as the basis for success in a changing world. Today, the conversation centers on whether President Ott Rowlands is the right person to guide Randolph to achieve these lofty but vital goals. For my part, the answer to this question is something that I'm going to have to refer to my training in law and borrow a concept from the law of torts. And there is a doctrine that is called res ipsa loquitur. Translated, this means the thing speaks for itself. Now, res ipsa is invoked when there is a harm and there is no plausible explanation for the harm other than the wrongdoer's action. The typical example we give in a 1L torts class is a patient who wakes up from a surgery with a sponge left in their body. The res ipsa is that the surgeon committed a negligent act. Well, today's reflection and invocation of res ipsa is not to discuss any wayward sponges, but rather I admittedly contort the doctrine to declare that President Ott Rowlands' suitability for leadership of this institution speaks for itself. She has and she will travel to the ends of the earth to provide opportunity for others, to support the hopes and the dreams of those fortunate enough to be in her realm. She is a person of high energy, high integrity, high intellect, high emotional intelligence, and high honor. That you have chosen well for your new president speaks for itself, and it speaks incredibly highly of your community. I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak momentarily on behalf of my friend and your new leader, President Sue Ott Rowlands. Thank you so much.
It's a beautiful mix of humanity from all across the globe. We in the community are grateful for your service and confident in the chapters ahead. This city and Randolph College care a great deal about each other. For more than a century now, our fortunes have been intertwined. We are partners in building this community together. Through a deep personal commitment to each and every student, through the legacy of Randolph-Macon Women's College and the promise of Randolph College, this institution prepares and inspires young women and men to live lives with integrity and courage and intellectual curiosity with a deep respect for learning. And as a city, we are enriched by Randolph in so many ways. You bring a remarkable pageant of people from around the world to our city, enlivening our culture and our economy. President Ott Rowlands, on behalf of those who love Lynchburg, those who are native-born, and those of us like me who have chosen to make this city our home, we thank you, we welcome you, we congratulate you, and we cherish this chance to continue great progress together. Thank you.
Students, faculty, alumni and alumni, trustees, and distinguished guests, I'm honored to be here with you today as we officially welcome President Ott Rowlands to our family. I'm here representing the more than 17,000 Randolph-Macon Women's College alumni and Randolph College alumni worldwide and share these remarks on their behalf. I am a proud graduate of the RMWC class of 2008 and an active member of the Lynchburg community. The association exists to cultivate an active membership of people who are connected to each other, informed and involved in supporting the life and work of Randolph College. We actively work to ensure that the foundational qualities of RMWC as a center for academic excellence, individualized education, and emphasis in educating and uplifting women and people from minoritized or marginalized communities live on at Randolph College. The goal of my tenure as president of the Alumni and Alumni Association has been to build diversity of the board and reimagine how our network serves and engages with our members. We cannot do this work without a strong relationship with the president. President Sue's work and service is student and community centered. She is creative and enthusiastic about designing a new future in partnership with all the members of the community. To the alumni and alumni who have yet to engage in this network, come work with us. To the future alums who are here today, we look forward to welcoming you. We celebrate today and look forward to co-creating the future for current and upcoming alumni that supports student wellness today and Wita Amadatu tomorrow. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Oh, hi. Okay, so, it's Tuesday. Love her. Okay. I'm honored to be here today to present the students and welcoming President Sue. Students, get lit. Come on. Say woo. All right, President Sue came to this campus and immediately brought the energy we all needed. If I could think of 3 words to describe President Sue, they would consist of kind, inspiring, and high energy. From her Monday morning emails to just seeing her at lunch every day, she brought us so many smiles to our faces. President Sue, wait, I already said that. Okay, yeah. We look forward to seeing her at sporting events, theater events, and so much more. If you have the opportunity to get to know President Sue, which I strongly encourage you to do so, I think you would also agree that she embodies the true spirit of being an original. As a senior here, I have absolute no doubt that my college is going in the right direction and is under extraordinary leadership. I cannot wait to see what President Sue has in store for Randolph and its student body. We are so thankful that you have accepted this position to be our president, and I wish you nothing but the best in the near future. And thank you so much for literally just bringing the energy we all needed. I love you. so much. All right, thank y'all.
That one's tough to follow. Okay. On behalf of the staff of Randolph College, it's my pleasure to welcome you to today's celebration and an honor to welcome Sue Ott Rowlands as the 11th president of Randolph College. President Ott Rowlands, your energy and enthusiasm have been contagious on campus since day one, and as staff who represent a large cross-section of campus functions and departments, we are eager and ready to support your vision for the college. Randolph is unique in its commitment to community, both on and off campus. We appreciate the ways you have worked to invest in the community behind the red brick wall and beyond thus far, and the work you will continue to do to strengthen and grow relationship in all areas. Randolph is also unique in its caliber of students, faculty, and staff that call this place home. We look forward to working together under your leadership, President Ott Rowlands, to continue to educate and train the leaders of the future. The staff at Randolph College congratulate you, and we are behind you all the way.
Hello. I am honored to be here today on behalf of the Randolph College faculty to celebrate the inauguration of President Sue Ott Rowlands. As I started these remarks, I asked the faculty what I should highlight. One immediate theme that stood out was praise for Sue's deep love for the Randolph College community and the community's love for her. From cheering at sporting events wearing yellow and black, to literally rocking the finale in the show, to lunches in the dining hall, I heard so many examples of how Sue's enthusiasm, warmth, and energy brightened the campus. One story that stood out was of Sue working with students in a staged sword fight for a community fundraiser. The colleague praised Sue's enthusiasm for working with the students and said, "I was blown away by how well our students already seemed to know and love her after such a short amount of time." Sue demonstrates a strong belief in the work we do here at Randolph Now and a sense of opportunity and excitement for the future. I think one colleague summed it up best when he said, "Sue has a unique ability to draw the very best out of the people she is leading." I cannot think of a better qualification for a college president. Sue, thank you for joining us. We're so glad you're here.
Well, folks, as I said earlier, I was looking forward to being able to introduce Nikki Giovanni for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is that she's a good friend of Sue's, but maybe next time. The Board of Trustees has no more important duty than that of selecting an institutional leader, and we take this responsibility seriously. The board has put forth countless hours into ensuring the successful selection and announcement and transition of the college's 11th president. I now ask Vice Chair and Co-Chair of the Presidential Search Committee, Dr. Campbell, to the podium. Karen.
Thanks, Hank, and for getting the lights back on so quickly. I also want to thank Betsy Crichton, a trustee from the class of 1967, who served as co-chair of the Presidential Search Committee, and all of the members of that committee for their tireless, insightful, collaborative, and good-humored work during the search. This intrepid committee was composed of faculty, staff, students, and trustees, several of whom are alumni. I'd like to ask the members of the search committee who are here today to stand briefly so that we can acknowledge your contributions. As we set out to find our 11th president, we had a substantial task in front of us. The country was beginning to emerge from the COVID-19 pandemic. The landscape of higher education and of the world had changed drastically. And while Randolph College was well positioned for success, the role of president is vital to an institution of higher education, and especially to a small liberal arts college such as ours. Our close, diverse community deserved nothing but the best, and so we began an intensive, highly competitive national search for the best person to lead Randolph's next chapter. We are grateful for the guidance from members of Isaacson Miller, the executive search firm that we chose as our partners for the search. We spent months early in the process ensuring that our presidential search yielded a stellar and diverse pool of candidates. The search process involved seemingly countless hours of reading candidates' records, of committee meetings, and of interviews with candidates, all of which we did over Zoom, and of finalists' visits to campus during one of the coldest Januaries on record in Lynchburg. Our pool of candidates was stellar and diverse, and in that pool, Sue Ott Rowlands stood out as an exceptional and innovative leader, well prepared to guide the college forward. She brought with her a deep understanding of higher education, a devotion to the liberal arts, and a compelling record of accomplishments in her previous administrative roles, and an Actors Equity card. The search committee and the board of trustees saw in Sue Ott Rowlands the potential for a transformational leader who will not only encourage us to raise our expectations, but also inspire us to meet and exceed those expectations. Sue articulates a clear vision for Randolph's future, and she is an innovator willing to question the status quo. Equally important, Sue is a community builder and a fierce advocate for students. You can witness her love for the college and for its history in all she does. We have been nothing but delighted and gratified since Sue assumed her role in July of last year. She is a consistent sight on campus, eating in the dining hall and attending student events, and she regularly invites campus and community members to gatherings at the President's House, a home that Sue prefers to call Randolph's house. Sue has embraced our traditions, even somewhat quirky ones, such as singing during Pumpkin Parade and performing in the show. She has traveled the nation, meeting alumni and alumni, and advocating for Randolph College. And Sue is a steadfast and keen supporter of our faculty and staff as they do vital work with and for our students. In less than a year, we have seen the college make significant progress on multiple fronts with Sue's energetic leadership, and we are eager to see what the future holds. Vita abundantior. Sue Ott Rowlands, will you please join Chair Hubbard and me to take the oath of office as the 11th president of Randolph College?
Okay, Sue, you ready?
I'm ready.
Please raise your right hand. I, Sue Ott Rowlands,
I, Sue Ott Rowlands,
do hereby affirm that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
discharge the duties required of me as president of Randolph College,
discharge the duties required of me as president of Randolph College,
according to the bylaws of the college,
according to the bylaws of the college,
without partiality, favor, or affection. So help me God.
So help me God.
Now I invite Vice Chair Campbell to bestow upon you the symbol of the office, the Presidential Medallion, and the chain of office. We're not done yet. Okay. Let me make this legal. I got one more thing. And now, by the authority invested in me as chair of the Randolph Board of Trustees by the Commonwealth of Virginia, I commend to you Sue Ott Rowlands, the welfare of Randolph College, and declare you fully installed as the 11th president of the college with all of the rights, privileges thereto appertaining. Congratulations, Madam President. Wonderful. You can sit down. We'll be introduced. I don't think they like you, Sue. To introduce President Ott Rowlands, I am pleased to welcome one of her former colleagues and founding director of the Center for Refugee, Migrant, and Displacement Studies and professor of rhetoric in the Department of English at Virginia Tech, Dr. Katrina M. Powell. Dr. Powell.
Thank you, Chairman Hubbard, Vice Chairwoman Campbell, colleagues in the presidential party, especially President Zhu. Thank you so much for welcoming me, and to all your fellow students who performed last night at the Mayer Art Museum. It was a lovely event, so thank you so much. And to my colleagues and to all Randolph College faculty, students, staff, alumni, and special guests, you've made me and my family feel so welcome. And I especially want to say hello to Sue's family on row E. Thank you. Thank you so much for making me feel part of your family. It's my honor and privilege to be here today with you on your spectacular campus and to share with you in celebrating your new president. I was going to make a promise in my speech today, but I see Sue has already fulfilled it. Everything that folks have said before me about what she's done already since July here and what she did at NKU speaks to what I have to say. I'll go ahead and say it anyway, but you'll see some resonating themes. The first time I met Sue Ott Rowlands, she was the newly appointed dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences at Virginia Tech. Our Women's and Gender Studies program had invited Sue to our social gathering, and she accepted the invitation, but in what I came to learn was one of Sue's signature moves, she offered to host us. She made us dinner, and upon walking into her art-filled house, I was immediately struck by not only the warmth of her home, but also the enthusiasm she had for us as a faculty. I understand she's already had many of you over to Randolph's house, including students, so I know, and we've heard today, of how much fun those dinners can be. But warmth and generosity and humor aren't the whole story. For me, less than a year later after meeting Sue, she appointed me in a leadership position, and then we scheduled a meeting at a coffee shop to discuss an upcoming event, which, by the way, was an event where she was acting in a play. I was carrying with me a manuscript. It was spilling out of my folder, and Sue saw its title and with excitement said, "Rhetorics of Displacement, Rhetorics of Displacement, Katie Powell, what is that?" And I explained that it was my most recent article, to which she responded, "You must come to Sri Lanka." In just a few seconds, she had connected my local research with her vision, building international programs in our college and making students in our College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences at the giant place of Virginia Tech feel like they were special and like we were taking good care of them, much the way we do at liberal arts colleges. Well, it seemed like seconds that she made those connections. The groundwork had already been laid that first night at her house and when she interviewed me for a leadership position. But then when the time was right, when that last piece of information came to her, it was so clear to her that on the spot she invited me on that faculty delegation to Sri Lanka. And my experience on that delegation became the seed of a long trajectory of studying transnational narratives of displacement. But Sue networking for me is not the whole story. I do have many stories like these, amazing connections and occurrences and networks and symposia, et cetera, that Sue and I have done together or that she's encouraged me to do. And to be honest, I thought it was me, that she liked me so well, that she thought of me when there was an opportunity to be developed. But fast forward several years when she left to become provost at Northern Kentucky University. To say I was heartbroken when she left for NKU is an understatement. But what I didn't realize was that we would remain connected, and she invited me to share my research at NKU. And I met her faculty, her deans, her colleagues, some of whom are here today, and you must ask them about their experience with her. It became clear that it wasn't just me. She does this with everyone. I can tell she's done it already here. I could see right away that they felt about her the way that I did, and the accomplishments they made during the time she was at NKU were extraordinary. Over the years, as I've met people who knew her before her time at Virginia Tech and NKU, I've realized that these connections and accomplishments are not unusual for Sue. I may think of her as my dean. I think our colleagues at NKU think of her as their provost. But now she's your president, Sue, and believe me when I say that I'm envious of you all. Because when she was my dean, whenever I or my colleagues presented a problem or an idea, she always responded by saying, "Let's figure this out. How can we do this?" This is getting toward the whole story, the effect she has on people to do their best. Sue is genuine. She is earnest but wicked funny. And when she makes a promise, whether you're a student, a staff member, a facilities professional, a faculty member, alumni, she will help you solve problems and realize visions. And this is key. She will help you, but that means you have to work. And I'm not kidding. I worked my butt off for Sue. I rested when she went to NKU. But that also meant that I could achieve a lot after she left, because she built my confidence and taught me how to make things happen in her absence. As your president, then, I know she will listen to you. She will carry a pumpkin across campus for you, but you already know that. But the best thing she'll do for you as individuals and for Randolph College as a whole is to help you figure out how you will do your best beyond your wildest imaginings. That's a Randolph promise. I'm pleased and honored to introduce your 11th president and my treasured friend, President Sue Ott Rowlands.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm slightly overwhelmed. Let me begin by saying what a tremendous pleasure it is, not just a pleasure, an honor it is for me to stand here before you today to celebrate this wonderful college. I'm so honored to be Randolph's 11th president. And I would be remiss if I did not thank everyone for the warm welcome I've received since I arrived here last summer. Students, my wonderful students, I love you guys. Faculty, staff, alumni, and alumni, our board of trustees, my fellow college and university presidents, and my new friends in the Lynchburg community, you have all made me feel very welcomed. I have felt at home since the day I arrived, and I am ecstatic to be part of the Randolph family, as well as a resident of Lynchburg. To all of my friends and family members who are here today, and to my colleagues here on the platform, thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being part of this very special occasion. One of the things that strikes me every time I enter the red brick wall is the rich history that permeates our entire campus. Many days when I come to campus, I just can't help but wonder what these grounds must have been like when the college first opened in 1893. There weren't any paved roads. Horse-drawn carriages and a trolley traveled along the street that is now Rivermont Avenue. And it's said that in September of 1893, during the early days of the college's opening, our first president and founder, William Waugh Smith, helped carry the young women who arrived here across the muddy road and through the gates. The brick walkway that had been planned between the road and the college wasn't finished yet, and a torrential rain fell as Randolph-Macon Women's College opened its doors for the first session with 36 residential students and 12 professors. Dr. Smith was known as a man who believed failure was not an option. And despite not having the money to finish Main Hall, despite pushback from those who said women were not suited for or capable of earning a college degree, despite an endless supply of challenges, he and the rest of our founders worked tirelessly to welcome these young women to what was an unheard of prospect, a college committed to providing women the same educational opportunities that were available to men. Their hard work paid off. By 1905, a guidebook described the college as conscientiously and splendidly academic. I love that. And providing added breadth of culture to the women who came here to learn. Well, times have changed. Higher education has changed. Our students have changed. And yet, in this small corner of the world, so much of what made this college special in its earliest years remains the same. When I first arrived last summer, I challenged everyone on campus to take on the role of educator leader. We can't simply look to the faculty to be the educators or to the administration to be the leaders. Every individual in our community must embrace their roles as mentors, teachers, problem solvers, and creators. Our campus community embraced this challenge and has brought to the table a great sense of pride in the campus. Our staff are extremely dedicated to our students. Our faculty was just recognized as 12th in the nation for most accessible professors. Our students matter to faculty and staff, and they are available to students inside and outside of class. They cheer them on at events. They push them and challenge them. They applaud them and encourage them. And all of this makes a difference. Randolph College is a place where people know each other and care about one another. And this is a big part of what makes Randolph so special. Perhaps it began all those many years ago when William Waugh Smith and faculty and staff members welcomed those first courageous women as they crossed the muddy road that is now Rivermont. I'm proud that this welcoming and accepting culture continues today as we begin the next chapter in Randolph's history. As I stand here today, I feel that same pioneering spirit, courage, and innovation that Dr. Smith and his colleagues must have felt 130 years ago. Most importantly, I feel that complete dedication to providing students with the chance to expand their worlds, to explore their passions, and to broaden their perspectives. The promise that Randolph College offers today is indeed not unlike the promise it offered in its earliest days. The Randolph promise, well, that's a commitment to being a place where students will find a close-knit community that welcomes their unique perspectives. The Randolph promise, well, it's a commitment to academic excellence, career empowerment, and community engagement. Randolph College lives and breathes academic excellence. We have always strived to create access for individuals wanting to have a better life, an abundant life. We are dedicated to helping our students find their purpose, and today we do that for young women and for young men. We're proud of our diverse community and how many first-generation students have chosen to call our campus home. Academic excellence resonates with me on a personal level. My father grew up shuttling between family in San Francisco and Denver. He was never able to finish high school, much less college, and yet he was a teacher at heart. And though he had no degree, he taught at Oklahoma State University at a regional campus in the electricity and electronics department. My mother attended Abilene Christian College in the early 1950s for 1 year. Yet she taught piano for her entire life, inspiring hundreds of children and adults over the years. So yes, I'm a proud first-generation student who comes from a long line of teachers, professors, superintendents, and educators, and who believes that access to excellent academic opportunities and dedicated teachers is an essential component for an abundant life. Randolph College empowers our students in their preparation and pursuit of meaningful careers. At Randolph, we prepare students for life today and for life tomorrow. We are committed to offering our students transformational experiences. At Randolph, we're not limited to the old model of liberal arts education. We're not stuck on doing something because it's always been done that way. Instead, you'll find us offering programs that speak to the needs of today's youth, to today's workforce needs, and to the global world we live in. Our students engage in extracurricular opportunities that help them take what they learn in the classroom and extend it beyond the red brick walls. They find preparation that speaks to the world of work, a world that is so rapidly changing, it's difficult for us to imagine what it will be like in 5 or 10 years. All we know for sure is that our workforce will need to be made up of people who are incredibly creative, flexible, adaptable, tenacious, innovative, and entrepreneurial. Without a doubt, a liberal arts education remains the best preparation in the world to help someone develop those qualities. Yes, indeed. Skills, workforce skills can be taught, but it takes a liberal arts education to instill into an individual the characteristics and abilities that have the power to transform society. In addition to academic excellence and career empowerment, community engagement must be a vital part of the Randolph experience. Increasingly, we find ourselves compelled to reach out and connect to our surrounding community. Lynchburg and the Central Virginia region needs our spirit, our energy, our adaptability, and our students as volunteers, as activists, and as social justice change agents. We contribute greatly as an institution to the economic health and well-being of our region, and we are aware of our responsibility to take our place in the community and to help our students do the same. I am a proud owner of a liberal arts education. I fear we often make the mistake of thinking that the liberal arts are defined by a clear, narrow category of curriculum. This narrow definition focuses on specific kinds of courses, a kind of liberal arts ideal. 100 years ago, or even 75 years ago, colleges like ours may have had some version of that ideal curriculum, but we sometimes forget that the liberal arts curriculum of the early 1900s was very different from the curriculum of the 1950s. The liberal arts curriculum has changed again and again, and it will continue to change. There are parts of the curriculum that women were expected to take during the college's early years that would baffle and embarrass us today. This is why the liberal arts can only partially be defined by a curriculum. The liberal arts, I would argue, are best defined not by the curriculum, but by the people who embody the liberally educated life. As many of you know, I'm a theater artist. I'm an actor, director, producer. I'm also a lover of art and a traveler of the world. These identities have come to be a part of me because of my liberal arts education. I am curious, I'm creative, I'm a critically astute communicator and consumer of the world, and it wasn't my college curriculum that made me who I am today, but a compilation of academic exploration, excellent mentors and teachers, and a family who supported education as a transformational life experience. Yes, the curriculum matters, but I promise you, whether we are educating tomorrow's computer scientists or English professors, or tomorrow's philosophers or film directors, we are going to ensure that Randolph College students embody the abundant life. Our college's mission says it quite well. Randolph College prepares students to engage the world critically and creatively, live and work honorably, and experience life abundantly. To me, a life more abundant means living life to the fullest, whether that is in the workplace, at home, or wherever we find ourselves. It is using our talents, our intellect, and our innovative spirit to seek out life, meet it head on, take everything it has to offer. The life more abundant means not waiting for life to come to you, but catching hold of every moment and filling it with curiosity, energy, and wonderment. What a gift it is to be doing this challenging work together right now, a time when more than any other time in history, we see that the liberal arts are not a specific set of curricula or a specific set of sanctioned careers. The liberal arts at Randolph College are perhaps best exemplified in our alumni and alumni whose lives are full of meaningful relationships and meaningful work to build a better world. Indeed, as we continue to grow, our direction will remain focused on educating creative, intelligent, and ethical leaders for classrooms, courtrooms, research labs, corporate offices, museums, theaters, and the world. So the Randolph promise is that together we will work towards academic excellence, career empowerment, and community engagement. My promise within that Randolph promise is to honor our past, those rich traditions of Randolph-Macon Women's College that have given us a pathway to who we are today. But the other part of my promise is to position Randolph College for a thriving future as we create teams of educator leaders who work together to support each and every one of our students. As our former president, Theodore Henley Jack, once said, "No college is ever completely built any more than an individual's education is ever finished." Just as the potential of our students seems limitless, so does the potential and the future of this beloved institution. I promise to work tirelessly towards these efforts, and I join as your president with humility, curiosity, and a deep appreciation for my role in our promise to you. Vita abundantior.
Thank you, President Ott Rowlands, and again, congratulations. We look forward to your continued leadership. After the singing of the college song led by chorale, please remain standing for the closing and recessional, and until those in regalia have left the theater. A reception will be held in the SunTrust Plaza immediately following, where you will be able to greet President Ott Rowlands. Thank you for attending this historic occasion in the life of Randolph College. May wisdom forever rise in her stately halls. Thank you. College song.